Hi. Hello and hello and hello. How y'all doing? Happy Thursday to everyone. We're back for another video, guys. Y'all, when I feel like I've been on live all day. I'm tired as hell. But we got some stuff to do. So, we've been talking about this damn book, okay? So, I told you guys this morning, I was so damn mad. I told y'all yesterday too. Amazon sent me a damn email saying that my book will not be here until Saturday. And maybe they heard me cussing them and the ancestors out because, baby, the book came today. And I am so excited to get into these shenanigans, okay? Yes, honey. So they said your package will arrive by Saturday, September the 28th. And I said, bitch, what? Bitch, what? Bitch, I'm an Amazon Prime member and all of that. So I need y'all to get on it, okay? And I guess they said, well, yeah, we better get this damn book on over there. Because I got my alert, and unbeknownst to me, at my front door, on my front step in the rain, it didn't get wet because they put it like on my porch. It's my book and all the rest of the shit that was supposed to come later. So, baby, they heard my cry. Okay, let's get into it. Everything said in the video. Let me put my trigger warning up because, baby, listen, I already told you I kind of sort of previewed this damn book. So we gotta have trigger warning up when we read it, because we're gonna be talking about booty holes and all this other stuff, child, and we be able to be covered because we're gonna be monetized while we read this damn book. Okay, so put the children to bed. Children, you cannot listen to this damn book. All right, let's get into it. In her own words, this is the book. Okay, it's not a big book. It's not a big book. Okay, this is the book. This is the damn book. Can y'all see it? Let me get it past the trigger warning. All right, this is the book. They're trying to debunk it. I think that Diddy's PR team is working overtime to debunk this damn book. I don't think Albie sure likes the book because there's some things in the beginning of this book at which we're getting ready to read, which is going to say some things about him. Now, quite naturally, any straight man that would hear some of the things that we're going to be reading about would be in their feelings. But this is the book, Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side by Jamal T. Millwood for Kim A. Porter. Okay. Yes. So there's 60 pages in said book, and we're going to read them all because y'all know my reading skills be on, girl. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. We have our trigger warning up. You guys follow me. Thank y'all for being here. All 76 of you so far. Please don't forget to hit the like button because y'all know we're going to be reading, honey. So come on now. Y'all got to hit the like button. All right. So let's get into this disclaimer. The disclaimer says that one of Kim Porter's final wishes was for this memoir/diary to be made public. It goes on to say that out of protection for certain parties and their potential criminal activities, some celebrities, performers, and events have been represented with X's due to their highly explosive nature. That's Diddy. Says that at some point in the future, this information will be revealed to the public. Now, regarding Kim's sudden death and the mysterious illness of Albie Shore and Jamie Foxx, evidence doesn't exist that points to foul play and or poisoning. Okay, it says God bless Kim Porter and all of Sean Combs' victims, both male and female. Okay, that's what we're reading here, the disclaimer. Okay, that's what we're reading. All right, let's get into it. That's page one, girl. That's page one. Table of contents, which is actually the introduction. All right, the introduction into the bullshit. Y'all ready for this? We about to get into it. Lord bless my reading skills. All right, boom. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. Soon after high school, I started landing modeling jobs. I couldn't believe it. It was all happening so fast. I met my husband, father of my oldest child, and one of my oldest friends in life, Al B. Sure, honey. It says that it was a whirlwind romance. I was only 19 when we married, and no, it didn't work out. She says that Al is still one of my best friends to this day. Our son Quincy is such a talented and wonderful young man. At that time, I had no idea my relationship with Al was going to introduce me to the man that I would spend the better part of my adult life with, a man whom I would love and cherish, but eventually fear and hate. Says that I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I will say, although I knew what was going on, I turned a blind eye many times. Says that here I have to tell the truth, unfortunately, because deep down I know everything that was happening, but I lied to myself a lot. Says that he was so charming, a wolf in sheep's clothing, a devil, and I fell for it. This story must be told despite the fact that it will hurt my children. I cannot hide it any longer. Sean Combs must be stopped. Ooh, child. Said with such dignity. Chapter 2, Humbling Beginnings. All right. I was born to loving parents, Jake Porter and Sarah L. Porter in Peach State of Georgia. Okay, in the Peach State of Georgia. All through Columbus High School, where I graduated in 1988, says that I knew I was going to be famous. In the 10th grade, one of my best friends, Tina, said to me, "You won't make it here in Georgia." I knew if I really wanted to be famous, I would have to leave my hometown in my home, Georgia. Okay. Said that conversation was so important. As I look back now, it changed my life. Says I met Al while I was working in the industry, and he was so dope and charming, and I had such a crush on him. Says that we were married before I knew it, and Quincy was on the way. But I was young, and it felt like it wasn't going to last. Says that I was a little heated between us. It was a little heated between us after we separated, but we got past that very quickly. Says that he is just a super dope guy and an amazing father. Though we separated, we are forever bonded through Quincy. Thank you, Al. I will always love you. When I met Sean, he was cool. I didn't think much of him at the time. He was just another guy at the label. Uptown was huge, and we were all living our best life. Says, but Sean continued to lay on the charm, and before I knew it, we were dating. Says that as a young single mom at one of the hottest companies in the world, life couldn't get any better. She goes on to say that then it did. My boyfriend was getting even bigger. Okay. It goes on to say that he and Clive would hang out a lot. Says, but I didn't think anything of it. She says, that was his boss, and he was doing bigger, and he was doing things bigger, and most men dare to even dream. Says that then it happened. Okay, I was a little bit of a freak. Here you go. Says I really enjoyed myself with my partner, and toys are one thing. Okay. Says, but I never imagined having a man that I was dating asking me to use a toy on him. Damn. The first time, he says he just wanted to experiment and try something new. She says, I was grossed out, but he kept begging. She said that he said that it was only that it would only be just this one time, and that he was just curious. Okay. She said that I was only 20 at the time, and I said, well, what the hell? I hated it. He bled from it, and there was shit on it. I left him alone after that. Ooh, it's getting juicy. Shit. Chapter 3, Second Chances. Sean kept reaching out, and I kept ignoring his calls. Eventually, in a few weeks, we ran into each other at an event. He came over and sat next to me. We were cordial. He flattered me by saying, you look amazing. I replied with a simple, thanks, Sean. I tried to get up to leave, but he pulled my arm as I turned to him. He looked deep into my eyes and said, look, what happened between us was weird, but I really care about you. Can we? And then he paused and tried to use this as my attempt to escape. She said, I tried to use this as my attempt to escape. Please, I think I'm falling in love with you. Can we talk? This is what he was saying to her. Said my breath was taken away. Did he say he loved me? It was so fast. I wasn't aware of this and his manipulation tactics, which was not good. Says that God, I was so young and so naive. He continued, just let's have dinner. And I fell for it. 2 days later, we went out for drinks at a lounge in Lower Manhattan. The place was so nice, says that Sean was really coming up and pulling out of all the stops to impress me. He pulled the chair out for me to sit. Back then, he was always a gentleman. He smiled and said, look, as he sat across from me. I hated it, and I never wanted to do it again. Give me another chance. Over coffee next morning, I decided to give him another chance. For the next year and a half, things seemed pretty normal. It was fun. Things were going great, and we were living the dream that I dreamt about through my youth. Said that Sean and Clyde were working with Bad Boy, and he had his first couple of artists. He picked up Craig Mack, then some rapper the West Coast called Notorious B1 to help Chris develop. Says that he was collaborating with the biggest names in hip hop to make it happen. Things could not be more amazing. Says that then he asked me to do it again. It was insane. Sean said, baby, I can't stop thinking about it. What the hell are you talking about? I responded. Sean continued, I just can't stop thinking about that night. It was amazing. Can you screw me one more time, please? I became infuriated. Why don't you go to Clive? He was the one that was screwing you, isn't he? Sean hit me. She says that then this was the first time, but he slapped me so hard. Says before I could form words, he began to beg, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Holding my cheek where he hit me, I turned and I ran off. Says that had been it. But I guess I am glutton for punishment. He sent flowers and a bunch of expensive gifts. Then we bumped into each other at another industry event. He sat down next to me. This was deja vu. Sean started, imagine running into you here. Get the fuck away from me, I forced out. Says that he began more serious as he said, look, baby, I'm sorry. But I just glared at him. There is an awkward silence, and then he finished. Okay, hold on. There is nothing that you can ever say to me. Nothing. After an awkward silence, he finished, says that you know I love you. I love your son. He's my son. I don't know how to fix this, but I'll do anything. I'm sorry. Shit, he can be so sweet. Here we go with the love thing again. This time it's not falling in. He was great with Quincy, and to be honest, despite everything, I missed him. As he stood to walk away, I remember hearing myself saying, call me later. What the fuck is wrong with me? Oh, child. All right, so chapter 4, forgiveness. All right. Sean arrived with flowers in hand. He wanted to see Quincy. He was so good with him, and Quincy ran over to hug him. I felt my heart melting. He asked Quincy, how you doing, Tiger? Quincy looked so innocent as he responded, I'm good. I miss you. Sean's response sounded so genuine. I miss you too. Says that we'll hang out tomorrow, okay? And Quincy said, okay. Sean gave him a little tap on the butt and says, it's bedtime. Quincy replied, okay, good night, as he turned to head towards his bedroom. Here was a man I fell in love with, but what was I thinking? Said, shit, not only does he want butt plugs, but he slapped the shit out of me. So why am I still talking to him? They say that love is blind, but it is so stupid too. Says, as Quincy left, Sean looked at me and smiled. Says, baby, let's go have some fun. Said that the babysitter is on the way. I just want to show you a good time. Says that I was so mad at myself for melting as I said, okay. Says that we sat on the couch laughing and genuinely had a great time when the doorbell rang. The babysitter had arrived, so we left. As we exited the house, a big man climbed out of the limo and opened the door for us. Said that he wore a sharp suit with a pow noticeably tucked under his arm. And I thought to myself, he could have made it invisible, or did he just want me to see it? Despite my reservations, Gene was a sweetheart. That's, y'all know who Gene is. Said that he was very courteous and polite as he tipped his head and said, good evening, ma'am. Gene drew a smile out of me, and I responded, hello. Gene and I would see each other a lot after this day. That's Gene Deal, okay? Oh, child, we got 135 listening. Thank y'all for being here. Hopefully everybody hit the like button, okay? Chapter 5, Sean Niels, okay? It says that the year passed. Thankfully, we didn't have many bad arguments, although Sean was strangely getting into voodoo. Hell. Said that he would put curses on people, and I wasn't sure how to respond to that craziness. My problem as a single mother was that I wanted to be married. He always had excuses and delays when it came to committing to marriage. His label was blowing up, Biggie dropped, and it was just about over. Says that he also signed Mary J. Blige, and of course, when I found out that he slept with her, we fought. I told y'all that Mary was pregnant by him and had a miscarriage, okay? All right, says that he claimed that it was a mistake, and my stupid ass took him back again. Says that Sean asked me for a threesome with her. At first, I was mad, but Mary was beautiful. It was our first threesome, and I loved it. Mary was sexy, and I would not be doing this a lot, but she was so hot. Says that I was young and exploring my sexuality, and it was enticing. Over the years, we brought other women into our bedroom periodically, and we were happy. That is until one day I came home to a situation that went from awkward to a nightmare. Quincy was with the babysitter, and Sean was sitting with Al B. Shore at the dinner table. I had a child with Al, and Sean was the father in Quincy's life. The awkwardness of all of us being together had dissolved a long time ago, but it was still weird that they were here in my home together alone. I sat down and we had drinks. It was fun. The conversation was cool until it wasn't. Al was a little loose after a couple drinks. I remember him saying, "It's still weird seeing you with my friend, but you're happy, so I'm happy for you guys." Sean responded, "Thanks, man. Me and you, we've shared so much." Al replied coolly, "Weird." The conversation took to an odd and awkward turn when Sean said, "We all been together sexually, but not together." Says that I was shocked for a moment as quietness lingered in the room. I asked, "What do you mean by all together?" Says that Al shifted uncomfortably, but Sean didn't hesitate. Said, "Did you know how we sometimes invite other people into our bed?" I couldn't believe it. "Oh, hell no, Sean. This is my son's father." Al, say something. Okay, she's telling him to say something. Al, say something. What Al said was mind-boggling. Says, "I don't know. It could have been hot. I miss you in that way." Although I couldn't believe Sean would do this, the truth was I still cared about Al, and this could be very hot. Says that I didn't want it messing up my relationship. If things became awkward, how would it affect Quincy? So I asked, "Are you both sure?" I imagined both of them inside me. I knew this would be awkward sexually and that there would be some bumping of genitals, but what happened next, I couldn't imagine in my wildest dreams. Okay, it says that Al, and then it has a bunch of X's. It says that I couldn't believe it. I stood there in shock, but when Sean, and then a bunch of X's, I ran out of the room. This was too much. I couldn't. Sean called out to me, "Come on, Kimmy." They did not chase after me, and then says they, followed by a bunch of X's. She says, I couldn't get the image out of my mind. I couldn't be with Sean for a while, but that wouldn't be the last time that I saw Sean in a compromising position, not by a long shot. One day I found a vault where he kept all of his encounters with men. Shit. Yes, he kept records of it, but that's for later. Ooh, child, not a vault, child. Damn. All right, chapter 6, Tupac. Ooh, child. Biggie took over East Coast hip hop, and Sean was the brilliant mind that orchestrated it. He hired people to teach Chris how to flow and write his lyrics. He hired the best producers to do beats, although he took credit for them. We know that's the truth. And the music was unstoppable. At this point, Sean was sleeping with all of the power players and everyone that wanted to do music, wanted to be a bad boy. Sean wheeled and dealed in a way that would have been unthinkable to many. He slept with the guys that really controlled the music to stay on top. A lot of the names average people have never heard of. These are the guys that make the decisions who on who is winning and who is not. He hosted parties that are just a fancy name for orgies, and everyone wanted in. When I met Tupac, Sean and I had an open relationship. And yes, I slept with Pac. Shit, he was sexy. Sean didn't mind. Well, not until he tried to get Pac to join the both of us. Pac was not good with that, okay? Says that this is where the relationship began or became strained. Said that Pac wasn't going to accept Sean's advances. Pac wasn't gay, and he was pissed about the advances. Said that we were all in Sean's house, and I was drinking and they were smoking, and everyone was just relaxing. Sean came in on what I was sure he would call a smooth approach. My baby is bad, isn't she? Pac threw a sly smile. Hell yeah. I felt myself blush. Sean was now in full swing. So you think you hit it better than me? I couldn't believe he disrespected me in that way. I was not playing with my response, Sean. What the fuck? Pac came to my defense. Damn, bro, you ain't got to do the sister that way. Pac appeared upset behind Sean's words, but Sean went in for the unaliving regardless. I think my dick's bigger than yours. I bet I can make her cum faster than you. What's up? Pac was appalled. What the fuck are you talking about, nigga? I ain't trying to run no effing train. Sean continued. What you scared of? Let's see who F's better. Let her be the judge. Yes, at this point, we had been inviting others into our bed for a while, but I'm not used to, and I will not stand for, disrespect. I wasn't the only one upset. Pac shouted, nigga, you talking about pulling your effing dick out? Sean was undaunted. What, you scared? Tupac simply left. Things were contentious then. The two could not be in the same room. Pac avoided me as much as he did Sean. When we did bump into each other, the tension was palpable. It felt like blows could be thrown at any moment. Months passed, only the tension between them, okay? It was uncomfortable, but nothing life or death. Then one day, while we were at the studio, it happened. I walked into Sean's office, and he was having the conversation. Sean sat across from Jenny Henchman. Pac, don't leave that fucking studio. Pac, don't leave that fucking studio alive. I don't think I was supposed to hear that. I continued as if I didn't. Hey, Sean, good morning, Jimmy. They seemed to think that I didn't hear anything, okay? I'm ordering breakfast, smiling. Sean replied first, let me get eggs sunny side up with grits and an orange juice. I could see that he was hungover. Good. I don't want him knowing that I know anything. Says that if he just put a hit on Pac, knowing something could be dangerous, Jimmy, apparently not hungry, said, nothing for me. As he stood to exit the room, he said, Sean, let's make that happen. Then nodded to me and said, Kim, always a pleasure. With a wink to me and a nod to Sean, he turned and walked out. Jimmy was a part of our intimate circle. I went in as if nothing happened. I'll make the call now. I smiled as I left, hoping it wasn't white. Hold on. I smiled as I left, hoping I wasn't white as a sheet. I wasn't in the studio that night. Pac survived being pow, thank God. From what I understand, Sean and Chris saw Pac at the studio after he'd been pow and did nothing. The way God works, after being pow, Pac made it to the elevator and tried to escape, but it stopped at the floor that Sean and I were on. When the doors opened, they saw him lying on the elevator floor, riddled with bullets. The fact that they didn't call an ambulance, although they saw Pac lying there swimming in a pool of his own blood, would be all the evidence Pac ever needed. He, of course, assumed they placed the hit, and Tupac is a soldier. This is not something that will be unanswered. Tupac didn't do well. Says that he lost a testicle, but he survived. It was orchestrated, and Sean Puffy Combs was the orchestrator. Hot damn. Are y'all enjoying this book? We're on chapter 7, okay? Threats is getting more and more juicy, you guys. More and more juicy. Y'all, pardon me, okay? Because I had to spray my nasal spray. All right, so we're on chapter 7. At this point, I knew that I had to get away from him, but I was scared. Is he going to take my life if I try to escape? One February evening, I thought that I found my opportunity at dinner after an event. We were at a ritzy restaurant in a private booth. It was an exclusive setup, and we were alone, but we were in public. Perfect. Sean was on the phone talking to an unknown listener as I sat down. His words on the call will be etched into my mind forever. Says that we're going to release Who Shot You now. We waited for a response. Then he went on to say, of course, they're going to think Big was talking about Pac. That's the whole fucking point. Nobody would give a fuck about a diss track against LL fucking Cool J. Do you know how much money we'll be making with this kind of rap beef? Nigga battling after someone really got pow pow? This may not be the best time for this conversation. Sean was finishing up. We drop that shit tomorrow. He listened into the phone, then responded. There's going to be blood in the street. Niggas missed, Pac alive. Let's capitalize on that shit. Says that when he responds, it's just gonna mean more money. He turned around and looked at me, spoke back into the phone. I'll call you back. Then hung up and spoke to me. What's wrong? I tried my best to give a fake smile, but what I'd heard, after all, me and Pac were intimate. I responded, nothing. Sean wasn't fooled. Are you sure? His demeanor was threatening, but I responded as cool as I could muster up to his intimidating stare. Yeah, of course. He took my hand and said, that's wonderful. He began to squeeze my hand until it hurt as he continued. Because seeing you walk in the office while I was talking about unaliving a motherfucker and you not saying shit to me had me just a little concerned. Damn. His grip has started to hurt badly. You're hurting me, as he continued to squeeze tighter. You're pretending that you didn't hear anything was a sign of your loyalty to me, not something that could be concerned with right now. I had no choice but to give him the answer that he wanted. I knew I was trapped when I responded. Of course I'm loyal to you. He let me go as he responded, good. And remember, I'm the big dick. Shit. I snatched my hand back in pain. He smiled and said, let's start off with a good wine. He snapped his fingers and his favorite wine was poured for him. They knew what Sean wanted and what he wanted, he got. I'm trapped. Now is the time for me to launch my escape plan. I have to be strategic. It's going to be hard to leave the glamour and glitz, the lifestyle. I mean, this man just snapped his fingers in one of his most exclusive restaurants in New York City, and they poured his drink of choice. The bottle of wine is $800, and this is 1994. The list to get into this place is 6 months long, and if the list to get into this place is 6 months long if you're somebody. It says that Mayor Giuliani has a table here tonight also. Says that if I got up and walked out, I would be safe. But what about tomorrow? I had to think. He sipped his wine and smiled. You're not drinking? He pointed at my glass, and of course, a waiter filled it. They knew what I liked as well. Sean had a bad temper. He yells sometimes. And okay, he roughed me up once or twice, but he never punched me, he never bruised me, and he never hit Quincy. I would not have stood for that. He never laid a hand on my son. At that time, I never thought of him touching Quincy in any way. Then the significance of what he said hit me. Is he mad at Tupac over me? I'm the big dick. Oh my God. The last time he put his hands on me, it was because I enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much. Hot damn. Did y'all just hear that? The last time he put his hands on Kim was because she enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much. Shit, he enjoyed Jamie Foxx too. Oh my God. Y'all, are y'all hearing this shit? He gets so insanely jealous, it's not fair. He wants to bring other men into the bedroom, but gets jealous when he does. Damn, you're quiet tonight, he said, snapping me into the present. I asked a question that he was burning in. Hold on. I asked the question that was burning in my mind since I walked in that office. What does Chris think of this? He looked at me coolly and said, his fat ass better just keep doing music, okay? A third guest was escorted over by security. Sean motioned for him to sit. A waiter walked over to Sean Carter and asked, would you like something? Carter responded, no, thank you, then said hello to me with a smile. Smiling, I replied, hey, Carter, and took a sip of my drink. The Seans may share a bed together from time to time, but thankfully, I was never asked to join. Carter went on to speak to me. I thought that we were meeting in private. Sean replied with a nonchalant shrug. I had to discuss something with her. It's fine, go ahead. We wielded this thing of power. Sean shifted uncontrollably in his chair before continuing. It's true. Sean and Pop were about to start their own label. Sean slammed his fist against the table, shouting, doesn't anyone have any fucking loyalty? Says it Carter. Well, that's not happening now, right? Sean peered at Carter with distrust. Why the fuck are you so eager to share this with me? Y'all, I'm lost for words already. Chris is your man. Fuck, says it. Fuck, he brought you on. And you're stabbing him in the back? Carter responded in dignity. With dignity, I'm sorry. First, I'm tired of being that nigga's son. I need to come out from up under his damn shadow. Sean smiled slightly. Okay, I respect that. Carter kept going. On top of that, this nigga is making that move, and it should have been with me. Sean looked at Carter blankly. Pop put Chris on. You know this. What's this really all about, Carter? Don't fucking try to play with me. The Jay-Z of today wasn't born yet. This young Sean Carter was all over his head. Concerned as he had to spill out, I won his spot. Ambition. Now this is the man that I can work with. Sean made a grandiose gesture towards Carter. Waiter, give this motherfucker whatever he wants. Carter smiled. Thank you, Sean responded. Honesty and ambition. We're going to make a lot of bread together. Carter ordered a drink as he stated again. Guess he won't be leaving that nigga to do his own label now. Sean responded with a normal air of arrogance. Why don't you just let me worry about that? I took this as my cue to escape. I told Sean, I'm going to go ahead and head back to Quincy. Sean wrapped up his conversation with Carter and barely noticed as he excused me. Have the limo drop you off. We didn't eat. We didn't care. I smiled and kissed him on the cheek and left. Y'all okay? I see y'all in the comments. Y'all like, child. This book is juicy, ain't it? I see 184 in the chat. Y'all, I hope y'all hitting the like button. Oh my God. All right, we're on chapter 8. Kadada. Okay, y'all know who Kadada is. That's Quincy Jones' daughter who was dating Tupac. Okay. Now, actress, model, and fashion designer Kadada Jones was Tupac Shakur's fiance and the daughter of record producer Quincy Jones and actress Peggy Lipton. Being around other celebrities was just a part of life. Meeting Kadada was just one of those. Meeting Kadada was just one of those events. And as time went on, we became close. We hung out together, went shopping, and so on. It was about the same time that I met Kimora. Those were the days, or so I thought. We also had girl talk, and the fact that she was dating someone I had previously been with wasn't a source of contention. We didn't get jealous of each other. It was just all girl stuff. No, it didn't become intimate with Kadada. Kimora was too jealous for that. Yes, Kadada knew about Kimora, Sean, and I all being together sexually. Jesus help me, Lord. Of course she did. We shared that kind of thing. We were open and honest with each other about almost everything. A true friendship, except I couldn't be open and honest about everything. Not anymore. Sean made sure of that. Damn, y'all. Kadada and Pac were the greatest couple. He was always so cool and yes, sexy. She was so beautiful and fun. Before all the tension and beef, we used to all hang out together. It was always dope vibes. But with Pac's pow-powing and the suspicious surrounding Sean and Jimmy, the vibes between Kadada and I weren't always perfect. Then came that night. Award shows weren't anything new for us at this point. We dolled up as the men groomed. We didn't choose what we wore. A stylist prepared our color palettes. A makeup artist did our makeup, and a hairstylist did our hair. This was just the way of things, okay? We shared the best stylists in the business. Sometimes we would all go to the studio for an event to get our measurements taken, but this time Kadada seemed different. I felt like something was wrong, but when I probed her, she wouldn't say anything. Then the day of the event was here. We would all see each other inside. Even though Sean was my man, as far as props, I had nothing on Kadada. Being Quincy Jones' daughter had perks, and superstardom was among them. Pac wasn't there. When she saw us, she came over to our table. We sat around kicking it in a very dope vibe. Sean knew he was going to clean up in this award show. He had all but taken over the East Coast musically. With all of the hits, there really was no way that he wouldn't. Bad Boy is Hall of Fame stuff now, and Sean P. Diddy Combs knew it. Sean smiled at Kadada as she sat at our table, but something about that smile didn't seem authentic. Soon I would know why. He's sick when he has a grudge against someone. As she sat down, Sean said, Bad Boy is going to clean the fuck up. From his table with Faith, Chris replied, hell yeah. And that new shit we busting out. Gonna have them niggas sick. Kadada signaled for the waiter to pour her a glass of the ginger ale that sat over at her table. As the waiter refreshed her drink, she said, Pac's music gonna get some love too. Sean grimaced. Oh, come on, Sean. I know y'all got your differences, but you have to admit, the man makes great music. Sean looked at me out the corner of his eye, then took another sip of his favorite cognac and replied, Bad Boy got the hottest music on the fucking planet. But I ain't tripping. Everybody got to get their shine, right? Kadada sighed. Sean Tupac thinks that you were involved in him getting pow-pow. You two were close. You need to make this right. Sean responded indignantly. Why the fuck would that nigga think that I had to do something with it? Kadada retorted. Sean, can you blame him? Sean was obviously not happy with that question by his reply. Hell yeah, I blame him. Says that we had a good thing going, all of us. That nigga turned on me, and he has the fucking balls to blame me for his pow-powing. The dignity that he managed to spew out while lying through his teeth was something that I did not expect. I was thrown back for a moment before interjecting. Do we have this? Do we have time? Do we have to do this tonight? It's Sean's big night. Kimora heard the ruckus and made her way over to our table as well. She sat down and said, hey, everybody, what's that big dimple smile? I replied, and I smiled and replied, hey, Kadada also seemed happy to see her as well and said, hey, what's up, Kimmy? Kimora, never the type to hold her tongue, went straight at it. The whole place is buzzing with the fact that you're sitting here accusing Sean of having pow-pow. Y'all kind of loud, she laughed. Kadada seemed embarrassed as she looked around to see everybody staring and whispering, but she wasn't about to back off. In fact, she doubled down. Anybody here not talking about it ain't real anyway. Says that we all know Sean was behind it. Kimora forced a smile. Honey, we don't have to do this here. Kadada made it clear that she was not going to be silenced as she continued. Oh, let's not hurt the feelings of Sean Puffy Combs. He only had one of the most prolific rappers in the game, Pow Pow. Child. Sean clenched his hands into a fist. If this was anyone else, it would have turned ugly. But this was Quincy Jones's daughter. Sean was a monster in the streets, well feared by men that knew but did not want any of the smoke Quincy Jones could bring. Kadada could continue with impunity. Why I can't say that? Sean could not touch her. Christopher and Mary both wanted to defend the super producer and made them famous. That made them famous. Both started to stand and make their way over to the table, but Sean signaled them off with a firm motion of his hand. They remained in their seats watching helplessly. Kadada seemed to be on full rampage. You're not safe in these streets, Sean. You think you're untouchable. Kimora seemed almost red in the face when she grabbed Kadada by the hand, saying, I got to go to the restroom. Kadada, not willing to stop, snatched her hand away, yelling, let go of me. Kimora needed her to get a grip and said sternly, as a parent speaking to a child mid-tantrum, Da. Kadada turned her head and yelled, what? Kimora nodded towards the crowded room, and Kadada turned and looked around. Here she deflated slightly. Kimora, now in control, spoke firm but softly. Let's go to the powder room to powder our nose. Kadada nodded with a grimace and gave a sharp look back at Sean as she walked away. She won't no joke, huh? As attention slowly melted away, I asked Sean, you okay? Sean didn't reply at first. He looked around, saw that no one really was paying attention now that the ruckus had died down, and stood up to get a picture of ginger ale from Kadada's table. He poured himself a drink from it, looked around again and saw that no one was paying attention, and put the picture under the table. What was he doing? Then I heard the distinct sound of liquid being poured into liquid. Oh my God, is he peeing in the picture? He smiled at me as he brought the picture back from under the table and finally replied to me, I'm good. Then he stood and returned the picture to the table. I was in awe. I knew he had a bad temper, but this was disgusting. I'll never eat or drink something after having an argument with him again. Kadada and Kimora made their way back to Kadada's table to sit as Sean watched on quietly. Sean made small talk. Which songs do you think that they'll give me awards for? As Kadada poured her drink, Sean's bodyguard made his way over to the table. I think he stopped her from drinking as everyone just sat and watched. Jean risked incurring Sean's wrath, if I'm right. Relieved, I replied, babe, your catalog is crazy. It could be a lot of songs. Sean glared at Kadada's table the entire night. So he peed into her damn ginger ale, and Jean Deal saved her from drinking the shit. Shout out to Jean, okay? We're on chapter 9, okay? Going back to Cali. This is when everything's about to get crazy. We had a wild night. It was after one of Sean's infamous parties. Everyone was there, and we not only had threesomes, but we also swapped partners. Our sex life was crazy, but I got to do things with Sean that I would never have been able to do with a straight man. Sean cared about me, but it was becoming more and more obvious that he preferred men. I was beginning to think that there were more to cover his wild desires than because he really wanted to be with me. He was like Caesar, every woman's man and every man's woman. But truthfully, at that stage, I was becoming okay with it. Jean did rectify some of this stuff that we're talking about. So all the book is not lies. All right. I woke up and left the bedroom where I was with Jada Pinkett, and Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with Will Smith. Yes. Will Smith attended the parties from time to time. I could see him and Will kind of snuggled up on the bed together. I was grateful I wasn't asked to join in that room. I didn't really like Will. Sean smiled when he saw me. Good morning. Here at the orgies, he wasn't very affectionate. He didn't have to pretend, but he couldn't walk straight. I knew his ass felt literally. I knew how his ass felt literally. We've had sessions playing with each other's anal cavities. I wanted to be home before Quincy woke up, so I told him, I'm getting ready to go. He responded, let's have a cup of coffee first. This meant he wanted to talk. Y'all, I didn't know what it was about, but in situations like this, I didn't really have a choice. He was becoming more violent when he didn't get what he wanted, and I didn't really want to fight. So I sat down before we started talking. Will came out of the room. Sean was wearing boxers. Will was in his birthday suit. Sean addressed us, good morning. Oh, no, Jada addressed us, good morning. When he turned around in order to close the door, there was a dried cum stain on his back. Will walked over, pulled a chair out to sit down next to us, and lit up a blunt. Sean stretched, smiled, and said, this East Coast, West Coast beef is more lucrative than I thought, but it's getting dangerous. Shit, y'all. Will responded, surprised. Business first thing in the morning. Damn, because you own it. But you know, you don't got nothing to worry about. You just got past daddy. Will smiled coyly. Sean apparently has something to talk about with Will as well, because he said, I can't protect everybody, especially if someone is no longer going to be on my label. It was apparently, then it has XXX, was taken aback by this turn of events. But his reply, Sean, are you saying what I think you're saying? Sean continued, it's taxing on my resources to protect people. Someone that isn't 100% on my team can't get 100% of my protection. What the hell is going on here? What does Sean want from me? This morning is turning out to be way more than I expected, and I have to go. Quincy will be looking for me. Meanwhile, Will apparently wanted clarity. So to be clear, if something happened, then it has XXX, it X the person's name out, made quotation marks with his fingers to one of your artists that was leaving your label anyway, it wouldn't be considered. He makes another set of quotation marks out of control. Is that what you're saying? Wait a minute. Can they be talking about Biggie? Is Sean saying that he won't protect Biggie? At this point, I wasn't too young, too naive. Hold on. At this point, I was too young and too naive and too hungover to understand this was not a lack of protection. This was a hit. Where did this come from this morning? But an older, wiser me understands now what I did not comprehend all those years ago. Sean was just getting to the real reason that he had blank there. Okay, meaning y'all know who, Biggie. The world was about to lose Biggie. Sean laughed. You cold motherfucker. Sean said, what the fuck should I protect someone that isn't going to stick around? I made him. That nigga should be worshiping the ground that I fucking walk on. I was thinking Sean's ego is rearing its ugly head, and I wanted to get out of there, but instincts told me I need to tread carefully. So my next move had to be calculated. I don't really want any parts of this, not even explicitly, but I was dragged right into the middle of it. If what was happening here ever comes out, will I be held an accomplice? But even as those thoughts crossed my mind, I couldn't just pretend that this was okay. So I said, but Sean, he hasn't left yet. But that's just rumors. Are you going to let him pass away because of some rumors? Sean glared at me, the anger in his voice obviously stemming from the hurt, as he said, I know when I'm being betrayed, and I'm not unaliving anyone, but I am not protecting somebody that doesn't have my back 150%. F that. This was railing out of control. My mind began to race. Is there a way to get through to him? Maybe I could just use the finance route. Sean, he's bringing in so much money. You put so much money into cultivating him. Are you going to throw all of that away? All of that money? That's when he revealed how thought out this meeting really was. If he leaves, he takes all the money I invested into creating him. Sean sighs. But if he can't protect himself and something terrible does happen, then the money I would make off of his death would blow away all the money that we made so far. I was perplexed. Sean, he continued, he was worth more to me unalived than alive. Sean Combs is a calculated monster. Then it has XXX chimes in. I get that, fam, but a lot of people out there want Biggie unalive too. Without your protection, he doesn't stand a chance in California. Biggie is going to be unalive. This is crazy. I dare not say anything else about it. Jesus. Sean smiles and stands to walk over to a safe behind a picture. There he pulls out a bag marked with XXX's name. He turns to XXX and says, that's why you're worth your weight in gold. You understand me? Here's a little something for you to take care of my people. XXX smiles, and Sean says, I love you, baby. You know I got your back. Your problems are my problems. I'll make sure to have my people take care of your people. I need to get out of here. This is crazy. I attempted to leave again. Sean, I want to get to Quincy before he wakes up. Sean looked at me responding, it's getting late. Give me a kiss. Give him a kiss from me. I'm going to get out of here. Thank God. So XXX always with something to say. I'd love to meet the little one, the little tyke sometimes. Not a chance in hell, says Kim. Something about this guy creeps me out. I forced a smile. That would be great. I made my exit. Chapter 10. Y'all still here with me? I see y'all put it in there. Child. Is this book not juicy? We're almost at 200 people listening. Chapter 10. The lies you tell. At this point, the relationship between Sean and I had been off and on for quite a while, and we were off at this point. He had put his hands on me again, this time for something that didn't even happen. It was all in my head. When the phone rang, I pick it up anyway. Hi, Sean. He sounded upset as he said, we've been broken up for a while this time. Yeah, he continued, I don't want anyone to know about and then he paused to search for the right words. Proclivities. I replied, so you don't want people to know about you being gay? Sean exploded. See, that's what the fuck. Hold on. See, that's why the fuck I lose control on you. So I plainly stated, goodbye, Sean. Wait, he screamed. What, Sean? I'm sorry, okay? You're always fucking sorry. He took a deep breath. I have to do something to cover myself. I sighed. Do whatever the fuck you want, Sean. When you seen this in the news, it's not real. This made me calm down. For a moment. What could I be talking about? What could he be talking about, rather? He continued, I'm only doing it for the press. Doing what, Sean? After a long pause, he continued, she knows what this is. This is just pretend. She is just pretending to cover me. Sean, what the hell are you talking about? Another pause. Publicly, I'm going to be dating someone else, a video girl. I laughed. Why would you do that? I have to cover myself. I was getting mad. I was actually angrier at myself more than him. Why was I getting jealous? I was sitting there actually comparing myself to a video vixen in my mind. They are thick, but look at my body. Did he prefer them light-skinned, big butt girls from videos? I calmed myself. No, I know he likes men. Any damn way. As I regained control, I asked, what the hell are you telling me? Or why the hell are you telling me? He sighed. I wanted you to find out from me first. Like I give a shit. He came at me with his favorite line. You know I love you. It was getting old. I could only think to myself, here we go. Love is a big, strong word. I'm tired of him throwing it around and using it when it fits his needs. He's using it while he's sitting here telling me about dating someone else. I replied, you don't hit people that you love, Sean. Love doesn't hurt. He sucked his teeth as he responded, come on, are you serious? That shit's for children. We aren't in fucking high school. He said, sometimes things happen. That doesn't mean that I don't love you. I wouldn't hit you if I didn't. Wait, that sounded wrong. You said exactly what you meant. He took a breath. There was an awkward silence. The fact that I was still on the phone and waiting for him to speak meant he had that power. He was more cautious as he continued. He didn't want to lose that power. Kim, no one, he said to Kim, no one that I don't care about can bring that kind of emotion out of me. That's sick. I wanted to say, is that how you talk to dudes after using butt plugs? But there's a line that I dare not cross. Instead, I said, you say that while you're dating some other bitch? That's just for public. I was done. It couldn't be heard in my voice as I said, whatever, Sean, do what you need to do. Just leave me alone. I'm never giving up on us, he cried. I responded to that emotional controlled attempt with that little resolve that I could muster. I didn't even believe the words that came tumbling out of his mouth. Sean, there is no us anymore. Goodbye. Tell Quincy I miss him, he threw out. His emotional manipulation was really driving me crazy. This time I said with much more conviction, goodbye, Sean, and hung up. You manipulative bastard. Wow. Chapter 11, More Problems. Ooh, child, we are getting through this book. We're 8:19. For a while, I was actually happy to see Sean gone. I was getting older, and the sex parties were out of control. It was getting time for me to slow down. Quincy was getting older. I knew that if I kept going, the rumors circulating were going to eventually find its way back to him. What would he think of me? Chris is about to take this trip to California. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen out there, but I felt like Tiana Wallace, which y'all know is his daughter, was about to be an orphan. I knew I didn't want any ties to that. As I was sitting there contemplating all of this in my robe, sipping my wine on this Friday evening, my doorbell rings. I wasn't expecting company. I opened the door and found Sean. My heart skipped a beat. I was shocked, but recovered quickly. I forced a smile and told him with a slight slurred speech, hey, come on in. Shit, I am more intoxicated than I thought. Sean entered looking suspiciously, then turned to me and smiled, saying, you haven't been returning my calls. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I'm fine. He obviously was not here out of concern. He was checking to see who was here. Sean was controlling like that. Yes, even though we were not together, he was dating someone else. He started to make his way into the living room. I attempted to put a quick end to the visit, but it came out a little more direct than I intended. So since you can see that I'm fine, you can let me go to bed now. Part of me wanted him to stay. As I entered the living room, I was forced to follow Sean. I was forced to follow. Sean was very direct with the next inquiry. Is someone else waiting for you? No, but Sean, we're not together. You're dating someone else. I can fuck whoever I choose. With this, Sean became irate. He fiercely slammed me to the ground. Then he pulled out a 22 and sat it on the end of the table. He turned to me calmly, and I was scared. My voice quivered as I pleaded to him. Sean, please stop. Quincy is here. How did he get here? How did we get to the point that he was in my living room threatening me with a pow pow? He knelt on one knee and got right in my face to say, you're mine. You don't have a choice in that right now. I can't live without you. He stood up, composing himself. I was terrified as I whimpered, Sean, that's not love. Sean picked up his pow pow and cocked it. He looked at me almost thoughtfully and said, Have you ever heard, if I can't have you, no one can? Sean, please don't. Please. Quincy will hear. Sean smiled and put the pow pow away, saying, oh, this is just for dramatic effect. I would never pow pow you. If I was going to pow pow you, no one would ever trace it to me. Oh, shit. Said, did you know how many people that I've had to take care of over the years? It will be quiet. Something in your food or your drink, something that would never get back to me. I wouldn't shoot you, or pow pow you rather. Do you understand? I could only nod, tears flowing down my cheeks. He looked at me thoughtfully as he reached down to help me up. I could do nothing but agree. He's a terrifying monster. Now he wanted to smooth it over, and I had to go along with it. What else could I do? Listen, baby, I don't ever want to hurt you, but but you know I really love you, or I wouldn't have moved on. Thinking about living my life without you is just too hard. If someone ever tried to hurt you, I would unalive them. My back hurt from where I hit the table when he shoved me. All I could do as he helped me up was nod that I understood through my tears, which he wiped. I looked towards Quincy's room. Let me say good night. No, Sean, please says, no, Sean, please. He thinking quickly, he has to get up in the morning. So he wanted to tell Quincy good night, and she told him no, because he had to get up in the morning. He looked towards Quincy's room. Let me say good night. No, Sean, please. He has to get up in the morning. Sean looked at me with an unreadable look. He was studying me. Okay, I'm going to go. Nervously, I walked him to the door. This is over, thank God. He kissed me. I didn't want him touching me, but I couldn't refuse. Kiss Quincy for me. I tried to keep my composure as I replied, sure, Sean. He opened the door to leave. The bodyguard that was waiting outside escorted him to the car. This was far worse than I realized. Why would he need a bodyguard at my front door? How was he anticipating this to go? After I shut the door, I had another drink. For tonight, the nightmare was over. I sipped on my wine and cried. The next few days, he sent a dozen of flowers that he bought Quincy an expensive toy. He didn't want me, and he didn't want me. He wanted me to keep his secret. I'm trapped. He has the authorities under his thumb. I can't go to them. This is like a gangster movie. How high does his power go? How far is his reach? The FBI, the CIA, who is not corrupt or won't get silenced by their upper chain of command. I'm sorry. Can anyone help me and my child? He found his way back to my bed, and I had no choice. Ooh, child. Y'all okay? All right, so chapter 12, A Mama's Love. Whew. The calamity that ensued behind the death of Biggie shook the East Coast. It rocked me as well. Sean could have stopped it. He was complicit in it. He was a contributor. He knew it was going to happen and didn't stop it. This was his friend. No, they were nearly as close as Sean would have the public believe, but still. But as far as Sean was concerned, we were great. To the public, we were just having an off and on relationship of a normal couple. But I probably just seemed like a money hungry hoe. But the truth is, I just got used to not having a choice. Today, I recognized it for what it was: Stockholm syndrome. I was his beck and call and had become comfortable with it. Quincy had everything that he could ever want, with the exception, of course, of a normal parental figure. This is why this chapter is so powerful for me. A mother's love is so real. One night, I was out with my friend, my boyfriend, of course. Yes, we were on again. And we were joined for dinner by none other than Miss Wallace, which is Biggie's mama. Says that Sean looked over as security allowed Miss Wallace to approach the table and sit. Miss Wallace spoke with a smile. Hello, Sean. Hi, Kim. I smiled the best that I could. What a situation for all intents and purposes. She is sitting with her son's unaliver. I hope my voice didn't betray my feelings as I said, hi, Miss Wallace. Sean smiled also and said, hello, Miss Wallace. What can I do for you? When I got your call, it sounded urgent. He was able to appear as if he was smiling warmly. This was the creepiest situation of my entire life. She looked at Sean with pleading eyes. I know this isn't your problem, but things have gotten kind of hard. I was hoping that you could send some of that money that Chris made with you this way. Sean shook his head. That's not just something that I can do. There are attorneys and accountants. Can I maybe help you out with a little something to get you past the hump? Sean reached into his pocket to dig for his wallet. I haven't even seen how much Chris left. It's going on 2 years now. Just how long is this going to take? Miss Wallace said. Sean sighed as he replied, these things are just difficult, Miss Wallace. I don't know. The attorneys don't make this easy. Miss Wallace pushed further. I don't understand what's so difficult. He worked for you. He made his money. Where is it? Sean shook his head as if saddened by what he was saying as he continued. It's not like I can just give you his money. You're entitled to certain amounts, and they are just trying to figure out what that amount is. I don't mean to sound cruel, but it wouldn't be fair to me to just give you tons of money. You got rich off my son, you got rich off my son, and now you're keeping all of his money? Sean kept his cool as he replied, I'm afraid business isn't that cut and dry, Miss Wallace. I pay for publicity. I mean, in all actuality, if I'm going to be straight and forward with you, Miss Wallace, Chris probably owes me money. I won't know until it's all worked out. The anger in Miss Wallace's voice barely overshadowed the pain, or perhaps it magnified it as if she uttered the only words that she could muster. You bastard. Sean didn't flinch. He just said, look at the contract. I'm honestly trying to give him as much as possible out of it, but I have investors. I can't just take money that doesn't belong to him and start giving it away. Miss Wallace exploded in response. You know good and well Chris didn't owe you no damn money. He didn't owe you a damn thing. Sean stared straight into her eyes unwaveringly and said, he would have started making a profit after a few years. His money until his album sales paid for studio time, music videos, publishing, and marketing would have come from doing shows. I'm sorry he isn't here to make that money. I miss him. His response was deadpan. Did you kill my son? Momentarily, Sean stunned into silence. She asked again, her voice quivering. Did you? He started. Miss Wallace. She would not be redirected. Answer the question. I was not used to seeing Sean on the defensive. No, I didn't unalive him. Of course not. She looked at him with spite, the anger in her voice enough to send shivers up my spine as she replied with a menace only a mother can. I don't believe you, Sean. Sean looked at her with sadness that I knew in my soul to be fake. Although looking at him with context, anyone would believe him as he replied, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Wallace. Today, I know he was able to muster that false sincerity because he's a sociopath. Back then, I thought it was compassion. With no more words, Miss Wallace stood up and left. Sean watched her exit with disbelief. Not knowing what to do, I placed my order. Dinner that night was long and silent. I feared for Miss Wallace's life. Sean is most dangerous when he's threatened. No one says that no, she could not physically threaten him, but this threat was very real. If she goes public with her accusations, Sean's image could be damaged. I have felt for myself the extent that he would go through. in order to protect his image. Ooh, child. Chapter 13, have some faith. The fact of the matter is, Sean was a complete control freak. He was the absolute worst. But of the things that he did for control, this might have been one of the most despicable ones. We were in the bad boy office one evening, sitting in the lounge area, enjoying a meal. Sean was smoking on one of the biggest cigars that he liked when Faith entered and sat down with us. She seemed relaxed as she said, "Hey guys," and I smiled. I never had any bad vibe from the marvelous Faith Evans. We never talked about the wild time the three of us shared at one of Sean's parties. I gave her a hug. "Hey girl, what's up?" Sean said and asked, "Hey, what brings you out?" She addressed Sean saying, "Look, when you asked me to hook up with Chris, I understood. You needed to control him. I felt honored that you would choose me to monitor one of your most valuable assets." Do y'all hear this? "Chris is sweet." Sean laughed and said, "Honestly, I knew you would be good. Make the big man feel loved. I don't feel good about all this, Sean." Sean got that look in his eye that he gets before he blows his top. Faith saw it also. She treaded carefully. "Sean, you know I'm as loyal as they come." Sean leaned forward, unintentionally threatening, and said in a low tone, "Yeah. But Sean, Chris and I had a child together." Sean leaned back. He let out a deep breath, said that, "I'm going to take care of you. You're not like Chris. You're loyal." Faith had tears in her eyes as she responded, "He didn't have to die." This is getting very touchy. Did she know? Did she suspect? Was this her trying to find out if Sean intentionally unalived Biggie? Oh my God. I wanted to ask, but of course there was no way of doing that. This is so crazy. Sean sighed and replied, "He didn't. Don't get me wrong, I miss him, but he was leaving me anyway. No one cares about my pain." Classic narcissistic Sean. It's all about him. I was sickened for a moment, but his next sentence made me feel for him anyway. I wanted to share all of this with him. He was my man. Says that Faith couldn't hide the anger that flared in her eyes, but she knew who she was talking to. She was careful as she spoke. "Sean, you have your friends that you share things with." Sean sat forward again, this time with malicious intent as he queried, "What the fuck is that supposed to mean?" "Chris had no one, only you." Sean lost it. "That fat fuck and that only piece of shit that I had you fuck?" I interjected while in shock. "You had her fuck Pac?" Sean glared at me and he answered, "Yes, fucking Pac. Those motherfuckers were going to try to start their own label and compete with me. Me! They were trying to compete with me after all I did for that fat fuck. Nah, I wasn't using resources to protect that mother effer. No effing way." As Faith started to cry, Sean looked at her and softened slightly. He spoke a little calmer. "Look, I didn't hate him. I was just hurt. I didn't hate him. I was just hurt. But I didn't hate him. I'll make sure you and CJ are taken care of." Without words, Faith got up to leave. As she turned, Sean spoke softly, "Faith." She ignored him. He calls to her again, "Faith." She exited quickly. Sean just looked at me and said, "Damn." I really didn't know what to say. Sean told Faith that he wouldn't protect her husband because he was going to leave Bad Boy. From a business perspective, I didn't disagree with Sean there. If you're leaving and creating competition for him, why would he spend resources on you? So I hugged Sean, but I also knew he didn't have to send Chris to California. I wondered if he realized that he sentenced him to be unalived. He hugged me back with tears in his eyes, and as he said, "How the fuck am I the bad guy, huh? I fucking do everything and bust my ass to make everyone live comfortably, and I'm supposed to just let niggas walk all over me?" As I held him in confident embrace, I replied, "No, baby. He took me right there on the couch. Like I said, Stockholm Syndrome. Child, this is getting crazy. I reviewed some of this, but some of this shit is just like blowing me back, okay? We're on chapter 14, Outshine. This is where Shine is getting ready to come into the picture. Y'all enjoy the book? Y'all enjoy the book? All right, let's continue. This particular evening, I was at Sean's house and Quincy was staying with a friend. It was some alone time for Sean and I until the doorbell rang and Sean got up to answer it. I heard a woman yelling and quickly realized that it was Jennifer Lopez, or better known to the world as J-Lo. Sean, what the fuck? She blasted. Sean responded calmly, relax, baby. Why the hell did you have to start pow-powing? Isn't that what you have bodyguards for? Normally, these kinds of things arise. I remain quiet and just listen. I play my position, you could say, but I wasn't paying attention to the news for the last day or so, and even thought that it would be the only thing anyone would talk about for months. No one has spoken to me about it yet, so I entered the foyer asking, what's going on? Jennifer exploded at me. What's going on? What's going on? This nigga pow-powed up a damn club. My jaw dropped, looking back and forth between the two of them. Sean spoke soothingly. Jen, you got to calm down. Jennifer was having none of it. She continued, calm down. Calm down. You pow-powed a bunch of innocent people, Sean. Sean placed his hands on her forearm. It's a bonding technique. He was shrewd in handling her. He does this to me too. Even if you know what's happening, it works. It's an intimate contact without being personal. He was aiming to disarm her. This did not seem to immediately sway Jennifer as she continued. Why in the hell do you think Biggie's replacement will take the fall for you? Biggie's replacement? Wait, could she be talking about, I had to know, are you talking about Shine? Jennifer didn't even know me as Jennifer didn't even look at me as she responded, yes, fucking Shine. Sean continued with a calm and even voice. Relax. The situation is under control. Jennifer was not calming down. She went on. They contacted my attorney for my statement, and there are a lot of witnesses, Sean. There is no way you're going to get away with this. Sean's arrogance can be immeasurable at times. He laughed and said, you doubting me? I couldn't believe it. I had to know, Sean, what could you offer him that would make him do a bid for you like this? Like what the F? Jennifer also remarked, and what if he falters halfway through his sentence and starts talking? Sean responded as calmly as ever. He won't do that. People in jail don't cross-connected people on the outside. Jennifer looked deflated. So you'd unalive him too? How much does she know? How much does she know? Says it, look, I'm not going to threaten anyone. Shine is smart and loyal. He knows how it works. And when he gets out, he'll be well taken care of. Jennifer spoke defiantly. Sean, they want to question me. I'm not perjuring myself. I'm not going to jail over this. Sean seemed so in control. I admired him for this at this point, but my spirit was broken. I felt bad for Jennifer. She catches one bad break after another, and this was really a bad break. Sean spoke with confidence. Relax. Come in and have a drink. Have your lawyers call mine, and you'll never see the witness stand. He says, I promise. Jennifer wasn't so sure. She asked him, how can you possibly know that? Sean smiled as he replied, between Shine's confession and the witnesses that gave their accounts, the cops won't need much else. The statement from your lawyer will be fine. Jennifer's next concern popped up. She explained, my attorney? Sean, he's good, but he won't do this. Beaming with confidence, the only way a man with his net worth can, Sean responded. Sure he will. Jennifer shook her head defiantly as she responded. Sean, you don't know him. Sean's unbreakable confidence was ruling that day. Says that Jennifer was giving in as he told her with a smile, I got this. Sean, are you sure? Sean gave a wink. My attorneys handled the situations. Okay. Give him my number too. Jennifer seemed leery as she asked, you're not going to threaten my money, are you? Or threaten my attorney, are you? Sean laughed as he replied, no, of course not. Money talks, baby. He turned to me and said, take her inside and pour her a drink. I had questions of my own, but you were going to make Shine the label go-to man? What are you going to do now? Sean looked disappointed as he responded. He had the voice, but his flow, he sighed. Well, artists with this talent they come a dime a dozen. Looking at Jen, he continued, he's not a once in a lifetime kind like Jennifer Lopez. Now he's throwing on the charm, despite the situation. She blushed slightly. Sean continued, let's grab a drink. Let me handle this attorney situation. Just relax, don't worry. We left the foyer and went to have a seat in the living room. He tried to make a threesome happen that night, but it didn't work. Not that day. Wow. Chapter 15, Queen Bitch. We are breezing through, guys. All right. Kamora Simmons and I went to have drinks. She was looking at me seductively, and I was turned on. Shit. We were going back to my place afterwards, but suddenly after a sip of my drink, I felt like I had to vomit. I excused myself and barely made it to the ladies' room. When I came back, Kamora said, you feeling okay? I'm fine. I had been under the weather for the last couple of days. I think I'll head home. She said, your breasts are looking kind of plump there, girl. Embarrassed, I whispered, not in public, girl. She replied simply, are you pregnant? I was taken completely aback. Why the hell would you say that? She let it sit there for a minute. I bet in her head she was like, wait for it. Then it hit me. Shit. She gave me a minute before continuing. So what you gonna do? I didn't understand. Gonna do? If it's not Sean's, fuck if it is. With that shock wearing off, the scope of the situation began to take hold. I responded, I better get a test. She looked at me with pity. Damn, girl, good luck. After what he did to Chris, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. The desire that was in her eyes before I got sick was all but gone. But I began to stand and I realized what she said and I paused. She looked at me flatly and said, ain't nobody stupid, girl. I didn't know what to say. But the question still lingered in my mind despite everything I knew. Did Puffy intentionally unalive Chris? Hold on. She brought me back to the moment by saying, go, not knowing what else to say, but knowing I had to deal with my situation right now. I replied, I'll hit you up. She sighed and simply repeated, good luck. Chapter 16, Christian. The next day I was sitting on my couch deep in thought when my doorbell rang. I went to let Sean in. This was going to be scary. We made our way back to the living room and we sat down. Quincy was asleep. Sean seemingly legitimately concerned. What's so urgent? I didn't know what else to do. I blurted it out. I'm pregnant. The air in the room was so thick as J-Lo said that he was quiet. What was he thinking? He asked obvious questions. Are you sure? I spoke rapidly. I was on the pill. I'll get rid of it. I'm sorry. I just wanted you to know. That's wonderful. That's great. I was so confused. Huh? You're not mad? He laughed. Mad? No. Why would I be mad at this news? I'm going to be a dad with the woman that I love bearing my child. With what could be possibly better? He jumped right on the phone and called one of his besties. I could hear Will Smith congratulating him. Sean said, yeah, definitely. Hold on. Kim, baby. I was still in awe of the fact that he didn't get angry. And yes, I will admit, I was sure he was going to hit me. So it was with relief when I replied, yes. He told me excitingly, we got to have a party. His excitement was contagious. I was getting really excited too. Yes, a gender reveal, and he cut me off. Yes, of course, we're going to do all of that, but everyone is going to want to sleep with you right before you give birth. Did y'all just hear this shit? She just told him she was pregnant. He told her, everybody's going to want to sleep with you before you give birth. My heart sank in my chest. Everybody's going to what? Everybody's going to want to do what? Sean went on with the same excitement. Well, not everybody, you know. Will and Jada, of course. Sean, I'm having your baby. He verbally waved me off. It'll be fine. I couldn't help myself. I started crying. Sean grew quiet on the phone, then spoke low. I'll call you back. He hung up and took me by the hand. Baby, I never asked anything from you. I tried to see him through the tears streaming down my face. I couldn't believe the words coming out of his mouth. I tried to speak. Sean, he cut me off. I provide everything anyone could ever want. Do you want for anything? Sobbing, I replied, no, but he continued. This is the kind of thing I have to do in order to continue giving you the comfortable lifestyle where you live in the lap of luxury and get to be on TV shows and in movies. I know you don't want this, but do you want all of this to go away? A whimper is all I could manage. No. He continued softly. Then we got to do this. I said, but Sean, I don't believe in all this spiritual crazy shit. We got here because you're brilliant, not because of the sex parties. He replied, do you trust me? I did. My soul was so broken. I did, I responded. Yes, he sighed as he said, then let's do what we need to do to keep what we have. As I nodded yes, he pulled me in to hug me. Thank you, baby. We are going to have a beautiful baby. He ordered me some food and that night I cried myself to sleep. I was going to be gangbang at 9 months pregnant. I want my children out of this life. My child is going to have a good biblical name, a heavy Christian name. They are not going to take his soul. 9 months and you're going to be gangbang in threesomes and, oh my God, trains. Lord have mercy. So she was doing sex rituals as she was pregnant in almost 9 months, you guys. Chapter 17, broken promises, okay? I'm tired of that broken promises. Okay, I don't know how this managed to stay out of the media for so long, but Sean got to the point where he was incredibly abusive. And not only his inner circle knew about it. The artists were all too afraid of him to say anything. He had gained so much power. No one would say anything. Puff Daddy was a kingpin. This Monday afternoon, Quincy was in school and our son Christian was with the nanny, and I still had to make a living. I still love the camera, and I had just been cast for a new movie. Sean was coming over to celebrate with me, just the two of us. I was in the bathroom when he came in. We were supposed to go out for dinner, but he was in a foul mood. Sean yelled, "What the fuck?" I would have to walk on eggshells as I came out of the bathroom, but I found him holding flowers, so I smiled. "You brought me flowers?" Sean yelled, "No. So who the fuck are they from?" I was bewildered and told him, honestly, I don't know. Probably just a fan. He threw the attached card at me. I picked it up to read it. He slapped me so hard I hit the ground. Sean yelled, "Who the fuck were you with the other night?" I looked down at the card that was lying on the ground next to me and read it. And it read, "The other night was amazing. We must do it again." Shit, I tried to explain. Sean, he threw the flowers at me. "That's not how it works. You have my child. You don't touch anyone unless I allow it." I yelled back, "It was just coffee with the producer. It was nothing." He glared at me and asked, "Who the fuck is this producer?" I was trying desperately to calm down as I responded, "From the movie, babe. Calm down." He picked up some coffee. He picked up my coffee mug and slammed it against the wall. Coffee flew everywhere as he yelled, "Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck do this nigga think he is?" "Sean, he's just some producer. We talked about the role and me maybe starring in another movie that he wants to produce. I swear that's it, Sean. Sean exploded even more. He wants to put the move on my fucking family at the top of his lungs. My fucking family. He flipped the table over, breaking it. This is a heavy table, but Sean is stronger than he looks. I pleaded with him, Sean, please. He yelled at me, what? I tried my best to calm down. He probably didn't know. It didn't come up. You're publicly dating someone else. So he screamed at me, and it somehow seemed even more intense. So you didn't tell him back. So you didn't tell him to back off? Sean, I didn't. And then out of nowhere, he hit me with a chair. I don't remember anything after that until I woke up in the hospital room. My arm was in a cast hanging from a sling. My face was hurt. My eyebrow was in immense pain, as was my lip. As I came to, the first face that I saw was the man that put me there. Ooh, child. Sean asked with concern in his voice, how are you feeling? I responded, stay away from me. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I save it for the lawyers. Stay away from me. We were in a private hospital room and no one would hear me. I could scream like my life depended on it, but it wouldn't matter. If I did ring for assistance, I wouldn't get any. He kept going. I was just so jealous. You know how I am. You have. He took a hold of my left arm, the one that was not up in a sling or in a cast. You have our beautiful son, our family. It's just, at that point, I had enough. The one you slutted right out of before giving birth? Are you fucking shitting me? Stay away from me, Sean. Don't come near me or my kids. He continued to plead, I'm sorry, baby, I promise I'll never put my hands on you again. I swear. I've heard this song too many times. I spoke through my gritted teeth. If you come near me ever again or my kids again, I'll call the cops. A flash of anger returned. You would use my kids to threaten me? But then he caught himself. I understand you're angry. I glared at him as I cut him off. I'm serious, Sean. He spoke blandly with no energy. And tell them what? That you had a car accident? They'll pity you and the fact that you hit your head. He was going to make me look crazy, and they were going to believe him. He was a kingpin. You're a fucking bastard, Sean. Sean spent the next couple months helping me heal and working his way back into my life and into my bed. I was so damn stupid, and of course, I wasn't cast for either of the movies. From what I understand, the producer died of pneumonia. The fuck? Do y'all hear this? The producer who she was trying to date died from pneumonia after her hospital stay. Ooh, Jesus. Chapter 18, Sweet Goodbyes. Sean kept his word for the most part until he didn't. I ended up pregnant again. He wanted energy from that too. Y'all know what she meant by that. Energy means more sex parties. That would mean my last sex party. My body would never be ravaged by so many people again, especially while I'm pregnant. What if something happened to my twins? After that, I wanted out. But then I tried dating someone else. They would end up unalive from pneumonia. Are y'all hearing this? I knew Sean was behind it. This was not a coincidence. He gets jealous of a guy and then they die of pneumonia. I could be next. If I'm going to get out of this alive, I'm going to have to do something to make him stay away from me. I had a plan, but it's dangerous. Sean has a vault where he keeps videotapes of all of his conquests. I started sleeping with him again. After he falls asleep, he was starting to drink heavily. I would get into the vault and get a couple of the tapes, take them home, make copies, and swap them for the next set of tapes after a few days. And then a few days later. It took weeks to get all them copied, and he never knew that I had them. This was my way out. Some of the tapes that I had I would have never have expected. The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys like Usher, Little Bow Wow, and Justin Bieber, I would never have known. My God, is he grooming Quincy? This had to end. Are y'all hearing this shit? I invited him over one day to confront him and put an end to our off again, on again relationship. He had entered my home unannounced for the last time. He no longer have the key after, he would no longer have the key after today. I was in the kitchen. Kimora and I were sharing drinks. I was scared to face him alone. Sean entered smiling. What's up, Kimmy? Hey, Moral. I told Sean, sit down. Because of my tone, he looked at me kind of stunned and said, what's going on? What is this? I responded with delight. Me taking my life back. We're done, Sean. He answered, hold on, wait a minute. I was so excited that I was hearing it. Hold on. I was so excited that I wasn't hearing any of it. I shouted at him, no more. This is fucking over, Sean. He looked confused as he asked, where's all of this coming from? With disgust, I said, I got the footage, Sean. He looked even more confused as he inquired, what are you talking about? Kimora said with revulsion, Usher too? Sean said, wait, what the fuck is going on here? Sean stood aggressively and Kimora responded, don't make me call the cops, Sean. Sean's anger was creeping in as he replied, this is how it is? I simply nodded. If anything happens to either one of us, it gets released. He sleeped as he queried, after all I've done for you, I don't think I was ever so happy as when those words, as I said those words to him. Get out, Sean. Pissed, he started to leave, looking back with pure hatred. As he walked down the stairs, he turned around in a fury and lunged at me. He knocked me down near the top of the stairs, and I was hurt. Kimora screamed, stop, Sean. As he began to crouch over me, I kicked at him, hitting him in the kneecaps and then in his face. He went tumbling down the stairs. He was too hurt to get up, and I called the cops. Kimora left before they arrived. When he left, he was in an ambulance, and I felt empowered and I felt safe. The Sean Combs days had finally come to an end. Ooh, child. Thank you so much for being a new member, okay? Miss Amazing, thanks for being here, okay? Ooh, child, y'all liking this book? Y'all liking this? Chapter 19. How much more we got? Oh, we're at the end, y'all, almost. So chapter 19, I think, is the last chapter. All right, so things were okay for a while. Oh, chapter 19 is the finale, okay? All right, so things were okay for a while. I started dating again. It was almost normal until I got serious with someone. Then my boyfriend passed from pneumonia. I knew it was Sean again. That's when I decided to write this book. A few days ago, my home was burglarized. Only laptops were stolen. I know it was that bastard or his goons. Of course, I had a copy in the cloud that I was able to easily download here onto this new computer. As I continue to write now, I'll send this into the clouds as well. I will send out copies via email, and my Google Drive password will be attached so the missing chapters can be accessed. This book must get out. There are so many more chapters to add. This outline is a great start. I have to organize the rest of the chapters and add them in little by little. I planned on spending today working on exactly that, but I'm not feeling well. Thank God the kids aren't here this weekend, so I can rest. I called Kimora to cancel our tentative plans for a meetup. When I spoke to her, she said, girl, that doesn't sound like the flu. You want to go to the hospital? That didn't immediately alarm me. I just need some rest, I told her, and quickly got off the phone. But why can't I get my doctor? Why won't he pick up the phone? Oh, no. I called Sean from my bedroom where I'm lying on my bed, and all I could think about was the kids, my babies who were with this monster, the man that I now suspect of having done this to me. Oh, Jesus, y'all. Sean picked up with an air of superiority. How I can't say that word. In his tone, that let me know that it was too late for me. He spoke confidently into the phone. Hello, I screamed at him. You bastard. I have your fucking children. What are you talking about? The kids are with me, he replied in a mocking innocence. There's literally nothing I can do. I could only ask, did you ever love me? Instead of answering the phone, he responded, the most important thing to me in the world is loyalty. I couldn't believe it. I had to ask, even though I understood, what the fuck does that mean? With the same fiend innocence, he mocked. Kim, is something wrong? He's going to continue this game to the bitter end. I asked one last time, how could you, Sean? Again, with the narcissism, I had now come to demise, he responded. How could I? Do what? I gave you everything. You went to someone else. You left me just like everyone else did. You asked, how could I? How could I what? I yelled, look what you did to everyone around you. There was only anger in his response. So you're saying that everyone leaves because of how I am, and you're going to expose me? He had me burglarized, and I knew it. I shouldn't have threatened him. I should have just published a book. I'm going to die like Heavy D, like Biggie, like Pac, like so many others, and it's all because he is a monster, plain and simple. Before hanging up, I simply said, that is not the only copy, you fuck. Then I shoot up a group text, and I let everyone know he got me. Then I called 911 as I sit here waiting for an ambulance. I am writing this chapter and praying that I make it to the hospital. I don't feel like writing anymore. I might not be around to see this print. It's okay. I'm sending it out. He won't get away with this. I will have my say, my final words. Sean Combs will get exposed, even if I lose my life doing it. My kids have always been my most cherished possessions. I want the world to know that. But most importantly, I want them to know. And that's the end of the book. Did you guys enjoy? Sexual rituals, and he kept her around only to keep his secret of him being gay. He never loved her, as you guys can see in this book. This is the book for those of you that did not get to see it. Okay. We read it in its entirety. It wasn't a long book, but it told a lot. Did you guys enjoy? If you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to hit the like button. Oh my God. There was a lot told in this book. Now, I see where they were trying to say that this book was just not an authentic book, that the stuff that was in this stuff, the stuff that was in this book was not authentic. Yes, the hell of most of this stuff was. The way that she passed away, yes. The person who, the guy that she was dating, that was the producer, did die from, because I already looked all this shit up, did die from pneumonia, okay? And then Kim, of course, died as well from pneumonia, okay? He was upset, and he felt that he needed to get rid of her because she was going to expose the fact that he was gay, and he did not want that. The fact that she had those tapes and he could not get them from her, that scared the hell out of him, because like they said in the beginning of the book, he was about image. This would have ruined his image for a videotape to be out about him with Usher, Justin Bieber, Bow Wow, and other people in the industry. I read it to you guys. Y'all heard it right here. So he was trying to save face, and he was trying to save his reputation from being exposed in the industry for all of these things and brought down and have possible charges against him. Also, he was upset, and she didn't put it in the book, but she filed for child support on him, and that made him mad because he was happy being able to give her money when he wanted to. But when she went through the courts after she had the twins and they made him give her a certain amount of money, that pissed him off because he didn't have control anymore. So that was another reason why he was upset with her. But when she finally decided to cut him off and say, no more, I'm not having any more of these sexual rituals, because she also was having those sex rituals during the time she was pregnant with her twins. So that's some crazy shit. So I get it why Albie Sure is saying that he don't think that the book is real. And most of the stuff that I read in here definitely coincides with other things that I've read and that dug up from other places. Gene Deal have also talked about some of the things that were mentioned in this book as well. So I don't think that everything in this book is false. I don't think that everything in this book that they're trying to say is just, for clicks and giggles. I don't think that it's that. I believe most of what's in this book. And I think that Kim Porter was pretty much putting out there that she was not safe. She was afraid. She was tired of being taken advantage of. She was tired of using butt plugs and strap-ons on Diddy, because that was really what he wanted. He didn't want her and anybody that she became friends with and or close to. He would try to lure them in to have these sexual rituals. I don't know if he was trying to tap into the souls of his children during the time that she was pregnant with her children with him, which is why she was made to have all these sexual rituals and people running trains on her while she was pregnant, even up until she was 9 months pregnant. And she could have lost those babies and or caught diseases, and something could have been wrong with her kids. That is so scary, y'all. But that is the book. Y'all can put into the comments what y'all think about it, because oh my God, it talks about Biggie being unalived. It talks about Pac. It talks about how Faith was made to be with Biggie, that she really wasn't in love with him, that this was something that that Puffy put up for the two of them to do, because that was a good look for them, for Faith to be with Biggie while they were, on the same label or whatever. But Faith was really into Tupac, and that she really slept with him. That's what it says here in the book. But yeah, so y'all put in there what y'all think. This shit is so crazy. I don't even know what like my mouth is on the floor. Like for real. My mouth is literally on the floor. It says that's why. Let's read some comments right quick. That's why he took care of everything dealing with her funeral and brought. Yeah, her casket was bought a month early, and it had to be purchased a month early. I think I did a live about this because of the type of casket it was. It took at least a month to make the casket. So I feel like once she told him, Sean, it's over between me and you, and she revealed that she had those videos of him and that she knew about him being with Usher, Justin Bieber, and Bow Wow, which is in the book. I feel like he started devising a plan then whenever he tried to attack her. And when she said that he kind of turned around and gave her that evil glare after she said that it's done. And if, I'm calling the police on you, she called the cops on him. He was pissed about that shit. So I feel like at that moment, he felt like he really was losing control of Kim and that he could not control her and or keep her quiet anymore. So he decided that the only way that he could stop her from running her mouth was to take her out. Crazy. Is that crazy? Y'all, this book right here, this shit is crazy. I don't even know where to begin. I'm shocked. I'm shocked and appalled by some of the stuff in here. Some of the stuff I knew about, some of the stuff I did not. I'm just like, oh God. And the fact that he was able to have all these people like be unalived and it be pneumonia, this is something that needs to be looked into. I feel like Diddy's PR people are out in droves to debunk this book. I really feel like that. I feel like Diddy's PR people know about this book and the things that are in this book that are true. And I don't think that he wants people to believe it. And again, still, with him being in prison, he is still protecting his image. And he doesn't want people to know all those things were going on. And he doesn't want to attract any attention to the death of Kim Porter. So I feel like he has his PR people working overtime to debunk this book and to try to have them pull this book, because a lot of what's said in this book, I feel, rang true about her life and what she went through, how she was made to be slutted out. We'll say it that way because that's what it was. He tried to make her sleep with Jennifer Lopez. I told you guys that. And she was like, hell no. Even they talked about Shine and the whole power situation in the book where Jennifer Lopez was saying, hey, how are we going to get out of this? And he was saying, don't worry about it. I got the money. I got the lawyers. You just keep your mouth shut and do what I tell you to do. So, oh my God. They said this shit is deep. It is. It's very deep. This shit is very, very deep. So yes, guys, this is the book. It's let's see how many pages. The book is 60 pages long. Okay. And it's a great read. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side by Jamal T. Milburn for Kim Porter. Okay. She talked about pretty much how she died in the end. She had a conversation with this motherfucker at the end, you guys. She actually talked to him before she died. He was the first person to show up on the scene when the paramedics arrived. Did y'all know that? Go back and look at video. When they showed the paramedics coming to her house, Diddy was the first person to arrive. He already knew what was happening. because I feel like he already did what he put whatever he needed to, the poisons or whatever, allegedly, into her nasal spray or whatever. And he already knew what was getting ready to happen. He was just kind of like sitting and waiting. That's why when they showed Kimora, she was standing there like, oh my God, she already knew. Excuse me, y'all. My throat is dry from all this reading. But Kimora knew, as it said in the book, she was there when all of this came out, when Kim was arguing with Diddy about the tapes and about everything else. That's why Kimora got the hell out of there before the police got there. She was like, I ain't got to be up in here. But y'all know Kimora was groomed as well throughout the industry. Kimora was groomed by Russell. So Kimora knows very much so what Kim had to go through, because she too had to go through it. Kimora was a teenager when she got with Russell. Kimora was made to do a lot of the things, and I feel like she's participated in a lot of those rituals as well as Kim. So that's why she was able to be around Kim, because it was understood that this was their world, and not everybody could hang around them and be comfortable in that space and not know what was going on and not participate in those things as well. So, oh my God. Yes, very sad. And the fact that there were children around when this happened, and she still had to do this shit while she was pregnant. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine to be made to sleep with someone else while I'm pregnant. I could not imagine that. Let's get into some more comments. Let's see what you guys think about the book. Said she kept me company while cooking dinner and is a month by the time. Oh, y'all must be talking about something else. Somebody said they're in the bushes. Let's see. I want to see what you guys are talking about the book. Okay. Said no, Lord, not the kitchen table. Oh, child. Let's scroll up. I see a lot of oh my gods and child. Yes, I told y'all this book was crazy. I told y'all. Said that this man thought he was God. Yeah, he did think that. He did. So I bet he wish he had that wine now. Yeah, I wish he. Yeah, says my book is coming tomorrow. You excited? Yay! Okay, mine was supposed to come Saturday, honey. I told you. I think they heard me cussing and carrying on because I was so damn mad. This damn book came today. I was shocked when I got my alert. Like, yes, okay. But it's a good read. The book is very juicy. The book is very, very interesting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the book. All right. Said that the writer admitted that he got the info off the internet and can't prove anything to the book. Well, let me just say the excerpts from the internet, a lot of those things are true situations that happen. So all this stuff that's in there, you know, and it's just like a movie. When a person makes a movie about somebody's life, every single solitary detail in that situation is not going to ring true. But the majority of, you know, the turn of events, they're going to be true events. So I feel like this book definitely rings true in terms of what she dealt with. All right. Michelle A.T. Elliott had proof on her channel that this book was written by a white man using a black man's fake name. Her children shut the book down. Okay. But some of these events in the book, I have also looked up, and I've also compared to other things and stories of people who've been there who also told stories as well on different videos and stuff online. So a lot of this stuff I'm willing to believe are factuals. Okay. I get it that people don't want it to be factuals because it's embarrassing. Nobody wants to hear that you sleeping with your girl and another man. I get that shit. I get it. But we've been knowing about Diddy having rituals and stuff like that. Okay. This is a ghostwriter that happens to be a white guy. They said the book isn't true. Okay. And it's okay, guys. It's okay. It's okay. But some of the things in this book are verifiable. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the book, though, because we got through all 59 pages, because the last page isn't really, you know. But that is the book. Okay. That is the book. Let's take that down so y'all can see. That is the book. That is the book. Okay. The picture, I think the picture they put of her right here is kind of eerie. It gives eerie. Okay. There are no pictures in the book. It's just, you know, words. It's just words in the book. Okay. Just words and chapters. And there are, for those of you that's thinking of getting the book, it's a good read. 19 chapters. Okay. 19. Yeah. 19 chapters. The finale goes into where she actually talks about when she found out he tried to unalive her and that whole thing. But the book is, I enjoyed it. So yeah. So yeah. But that's it, guys. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're almost 2 hours and we got through this whole book in almost 2 hours. That's pretty good. But thank you guys for being here. Okay. Says that I'm sorry I missed this. I'll catch the replay. Martell, hold on. Says that I'll catch the replay. Martell done filed court documents against Mel accusing her of going on Jason. Huh? And say that the kids call him dad and he and Mel be kissing. Who? Who is Jason? I missed something. She can kiss whoever she want to kiss because she is divorced. He is such a nut bush. He needs to go somewhere and sit down. Okay. Yes, somebody said Jean told a story about the peeing. Mm-hmm. Said we have cities in Jamaica. So yeah, Jean Deal confirmed a lot. Yeah, Jean Deal did confirm a lot of this stuff. I don't see why somebody would have to lie about that. I mean, hell, he was there throughout the majority of some of this stuff that happened. Okay. Said it rabbits about all the thing about coleslaw. Yeah, Martell needs to be saving that money that he's spending going to get an attorney filing something against Mel because bottom line, sir, you owe her $7,000 that your ass got to pay coming up in October, I think it is. You should be saving that money. He should be saving it. He's so pressed and worried about Mel and who she's dating. She can be with whoever the hell she want to be with. She is divorced now. I don't understand him. You ain't never gonna tell me who I could be with when I divorced you. When your ass went out and had a whole baby on this woman, she could be with who the fuck she wants to be with. He gets on my nerves. Like, let's get out of here, guys. Because Martell sends me. Y'all know I cannot take him, y'all. I cannot take him. They says that someone has the original script and she sent emails. Well, y'all know that Cassie has a thumb drive, okay? That's from what I'm hearing. They says that Cassie actually had that Kim Porter gave Cassie a thumb drive with, I guess, the rest of what she was writing for her book because she couldn't leave it around like her house or whatever because Diddy had like cameras and stuff in her home. And she didn't want him to find it and destroy it. But that's what he was mad about, the fact that she had those copies of all those SEX tapes that he had in his vault. I hear acting like R. Kelly because R. Kelly had a vault of them. That's how his ass got caught up. But he was upset that she had copies of them damn tapes and he didn't know where they were or how to get them back from her. That's why he had her house burglarized to get them damn tapes back from her so that it wouldn't get out that Justin Bieber and Bow Wow and Usher, those little, things going on there would not be out. Because I done told y'all Usher had to go to the hospital for a sexual encounter, and Gene Deal confirmed that as well. So we're not about to sit here and say that everything in this book is not true. That's all I'm saying, because some of this stuff has been verified by Gene and other people that were around during these situations, okay? So for those of you that believe the book, great. For those of you that don't, you're free to believe whatever you want. We just went through and read the book, and that's it. I told you guys I was going to order it and read it, and that's what we did, okay? They said, yes, Martell has filed a motion against Mel. I hope Jason sues him. Who is Jason, though? Who's Jason? Who is Jason? Is that the guy that was stealing out of Walmart? Y'all talking about him? So yes, Gene Deal confirmed and still confirmed. Yeah. He said, yes, it's good. Says that Martell needs to get on over there. Right. Says the bodyguard is married, which can cause problems. Martell is so jealous. So, they're talking about Jason, her bodyguard. Oh, okay. He fine, though. I'm like, if she did kiss him, child, I see why you kissed him, because he is fine. I ain't going to hold you now. He is fine, okay? Male security. Okay. But, I mean, she can kiss. Can she not kiss who she want to kiss? Can she not kiss who she want to kiss? Martell, you kissing everybody, including Coleslaw, and you done got a whole baby by this girl. Like, boy, go sit down. You don't get to. That's the thing. He want to still be able to control her. He wants to still be able to control Mel and what she do and who she do and when she do it and where she do it. Like, no. Girl, get out here and get your kiss on and everything else you want to get on. Martell, shut your ass up, okay? If you watching my channel. Shut your ass up. And Ariane, you too. All right, both y'all bums. Y'all deserve each other. You mad because this woman is out here living her best life and she about to meet somebody else and your ass is mad because it ain't you. Mel already said Martell been still trying to get her back after all this damn time. They going on 4 years and this nigga still ain't moved on. Still sitting back salty as a box of Lay's potato chips. Still salty over some shit you orchestrated, trying to be out here acting like Diddy and have your cake and eat it too, and she left your ass. But anywho and anyway, that's our show, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you guys for joining the live. All right, let's get out of here. Let me get my mods. Thank you, mods. Linda Gamble, KBR, Bell Wilson, and Tyra Daniels, thank you so much for modding for me. Y'all, I'm so tired. My brain is like literally almost on shutdown. Thank you so much to my content creators that joined Purple Unicorn, Deary Talk Show. Thanks for being here. I saw you in the chat. Thank you, Messy Host ATL, Boss Lady Bren, Chronicles of Kim K. If you here, Girlfriend Chronicles, thanks for being here, and love seeing her. Thanks for being here, and everybody out in the bushes as well. Thank you all, my caramelians in the chat, in the bushes, everywhere. All right, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Let's get out of here. See you guys tomorrow for Car Chronicles. I'll be right here in my favorite chair, guys, because y'all know we got this damn storm coming. I hope it don't knock the power out, because I do not like to be hot. But love you guys down. Bye.